what's happening. So hi Jax.
Hi,
Welcome
Gemma.
to Hi Class.
Thanks for having me, gal.
So I was thinking driving over, how long have I known you? And guess what? See, next year it's
Please
our
don't.
10-year anniversary.
My God, double digits. How's that even possible? Don't know how that's possible when I'm 21.
I'm only 19. Like, did you meet when I was 9? And but I've wanted you to come on for ages, and then you were like, do you know what? It's happening. Here we are. Let's do it.
Yeah.
It's been
I
a
was
long
like,
time.
now is the time.
Not that you've got 5 million other things on.
Busy life.
It's fine.
Busy hustle.
Busy girl. So when we met, you worked in marketing, and you still do, because you do something similar to me. You're a JB Marketing Consultancy.
Mhm.
But how did you get to where you are today? Like, where did you start? What's the story?
Where did I start? So I started in the Herald and Evening Times in sales.
So you did? I forgot about that.
In sales, I was a sales gal, and then a job came up in marketing, and obviously I had a degree in marketing, so I always wanted to get into marketing, but it's hard, right?
It's so hard.
So took that job in marketing, and to this day that is still one of my favourite jobs, but you have to kind of move on, get experience, so that was brilliant. And then I went to where I met you.
Yeah.
So worked for Professional Beauty Systems, and that's where we crossed paths.
Yeah, and I was at Sally's.
You were at Sally's, and that was a good job. Sounded by a good team.
A long time ago.
A long time. I mean, and amongst fake tan and all that. I mean, it's the dream, right?
I know.
But again, it had its crazy parts.
Yeah.
And then I went to Peter Vardy's, so cars.
I feel like
Get about.
I feel like MD that's watching this works in marketing knows that you just jump between random things all the time, because it's the same principles across
same principle, product service,
yeah.
you've got it, just go for it. But then I always wanted to do something that I liked. It's so hard to market something that you don't enjoy or use, I think. So spent time with cars, and then I was like, right, I need to try agency life. So went to agency, did a bit of that, and then had my twins, and I was like, I can't make this work. I can't make agency head of marketing life work with the kids. And they were like taking the hit, essentially. Like, to be dead honest, like that job environment that I was in was so stressful, and the clients just didn't stop, which happens in marketing, right? And I was like wishing the kids to bed quick so I could get back to work, not for the love of it, for the volume of it. And I was like, this isn't right. This is not what I wanted mum life to be. So that's why I was like, something's got to change, and thought, right, the only way it's going to change is if you set the standard. So let's go out on your own, which is so stressful. And like, I mean, I had like 1-year-old twins at the time, but hey, let's just go for it. And then touch wood, it's been okay.
It's been great.
Yeah.
I remember when I seen you put it on Instagram, like JB Marketing Consultancy, and I literally went to James, about fucking time.
A lot of people have said that.
Time.
A lot of people have said that.
Like,
but until you're ready yourself,
I know.
and that imposter syndrome is tough. Like, you know, you just doubt yourself all the time.
It's so tough. And you actually jumped. Like, I was pushed, so I didn't have a choice. But like, you were like, right, I've got 1-year-old twins, but it's fine.
Let's just go for it.
Do it.
I guess slightly pushed in a way of like, I was at breaking point. I was like, and I'm not going to sacrifice my kids, so what else has to go?
Yeah.
And I was not like, as much as I would love to be a stay-at-home mum, and nothing against people that do that, it's just not for me. Like, I wanted the best of both. So the only way I could do it was like going out on my own and meeting the clients and setting the expectation from get-go to be like, here is my whole life. I have twins. I don't work a Wednesday. So do you want to work together?
Do you want to be a client?
And then I'm so lucky, like everyone's so lovely, and I very rarely get like text or phones from my clients on a Wednesday, because like you set the expectation and they just know it, and they're like friends that are actually just my clients, which is like,
that's the dream.
Yeah, the dream.
Did you feel like going from agency to, because you essentially are an agency and you're working for yourself, you've got multiple clients, you're juggling, you're kind of doing a bit of everything.
Yeah.
Did that ease that transition then if you went straight from like Peter Vardy to like
100%? Like, I truly believe the reason, because like you were saying like, oh, finally, but I truly believe that I needed those years in agency, And the first agency I went to was like a small boutique agency. I was covering Calla Homes, lovely account, but it was like one client that had like multiple sites and stuff, so it felt like multiple clients. But then I needed that next jump where it was like bigger clients, and just it's like you're learning all the time. I needed that experience, so I didn't have that, and I needed that to be like where I am now. So actually, it did all work out when it was meant to be.
Yeah.
And like I look back, and if I didn't do the agency side, I wouldn't be able to bring to my clients what I bring.
Yeah.
So it's good.
You brought JB Marketing Consultancy.
JB Marketing Consultancy, original name, right? But I was JB, but when you're under pressure and you need a brand, I mean, like initials, right?
Yeah, I love your brand. It's so classy.
Let's go for it.
It took me ages to get mine together. I was alright with mine.
Yours is great too, though.
Think so?
Yeah, love it.
I know, but
it stands out.
I was talking about this actually. See, when we were saying earlier, I went to that women networking thing, and I was talking, and that was horrendous. Like,
You've done great.
Right. Don't know who I thought I was, but here. And like I was telling that story of like, so see when I created like the brand for bra, like in the spray tans, I knew like what I wanted it to be. I knew it was going to be about fierce women, like boss queen, like that was the whole like message and theme, and everything was going to like shout about that. And then when it came to paid media, I was like, what the fuck do I want this to be? Like,
it's
I
the
want to do
hardest
social media, but what's my angle? Do you know, like what am I putting out there? Because see, when you look at like other people, not so much now, I don't think, but like initially when I started out, everybody was doing like Canva tips, Instagram feature, and I was like, oh fuck, this is pish. Like, I don't want to be promoting all that. And then that's how I got into like no, it's all about the little guys. Yeah. And
I love that strapline for you.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I love it.
And that's what Hype Club is.
The wee guys.
The
wee guys.
Yeah, telling everyone.
I love it. No, you've done so well. But I think like sometimes like when your bubble's been burst, because you were saying like you were pushed, like then it's that like if you're a wee bit like not broken, but you're vulnerable. Yeah. So like trying to then market yourself is so hard when your bubble's been popped a wee bit.
It's so hard.
And that's the way I felt when it was like JB. I was like, my bubble was a wee bit burst, and I was like, right, let's just go with it. I'll maybe rebrand further down the line.
I like it. And so what do you like? Obviously, I know, but for everybody watching and listening, so what is JB Marketing Consultancy?
JB Marketing Consultancy is a bit of everything. So 16 years in marketing. Again, don't know how when I'm only 21, but there we go. Yep. So a lot of it is social media management, content shooting, and then obviously just taking over everyone's social media because they're on the tools and they're too busy, so I take all that stress away. The other side of it is websites. I work with people that are web developers and things who can do websites, and a huge bit that I've kind of found myself in and I love is like the influencer stuff, influencer marketing. So love that side of it, and then a bit of everything in between. So I've done brochures, leaflets, branding, like so it's like I guess that's what the agency side taught me was like whatever my clients want, I have probably done it. Yeah. So I'll know someone that does it or where to print it or where to design it. Yeah. So anything, it's like kind of fully fledged, and I think that's where it's going to go. Yeah. Yeah. It's growing arms. It's growing. Yeah. And you've touched on which is a nice wee segue in. Straight in there, did you like it? That was a good segue. That was a great one. You touched on the influencer side. So before you get into it, like what do you think like is going right with influencer marketing? What do you think is going wrong with influencer marketing? I mean, like I'm never one to judge. I'm like, you do you, gal. And there's like so many successful influencers that are doing it right. There's some that are doing it wrong, but I do believe there's been a massive shift. So take it back to my clients. So I'll go meet clients, do a bit of strategy, and they'll be like, look, I want to work with influencers. And actually when you dig it down, they don't want to work with like influencers that we all know and probably follow because they're not real. But there are ones that are making great money out of that and are still got a huge following and still working with great brands. So it's like, you go and do you, hun, and that's brilliant. But I feel there's this like side of influencer marketing where it's actually not influencers people want to work with. It's like people of influence, and it's people that are influencing whatever it may be. Mums influencing people because they read their books. There may be doctors, so they're influencing every single day. And I feel like they are a person of influence, but what companies that I've been working with is they want those people through the door, so they've still got high social following, but they're authentic and they're real, and they know that they're not going to promote a product or service unless they really love it.
Yeah, it's not just for the money.
Yeah, and I feel like influencer strategy was great when it first came out, but people are smart, right? So like people are like, I know she's getting paid £1,500 for that post, whether she likes it or not.
I know.
And then probably the buying habits, you know, I'm not going to say anything about anybody, but you know, the buying habits of things have changed. So, you know, take COVID, perfect time, influencer marketing was sky high. And if there's influencers that we know that are working with those same brands, I would probably like to guess that the sales aren't there as much as they were, because people are switched on more.
Yeah, they're sus to the fact that it's not, like, there's some in particular, I don't want to name names.
Yeah, that's what I'm finding hard.
That will promote something.
Yeah.
But then, I don't know if they forget they promote it, and then that specific thing they've promoted, they've bought another brand, or they're talking about it on another channel, and you're like, but you said this is the only one that you use, and now you're saying
100%.
You're using that one. So, like, it's because you got paid to say that.
They become like, I don't know if I can say brand sluts, essentially. Like, they kind of like jump about and they chase the money, and it's like, look, we've all got to pay our bills, but I guess like people know that and people remember that. So if you're using one brand of lipstick, lip gloss, whatever, and then jump to another one 6 months later, which people are doing, people aren't buying into that. They know if they're following you, like, they know what you've promoted before. So yeah, it's changed.
And like the brands that want the influencer strategy, they need to know that they're going to get the return on investment, because that's the biggest difficulty, I think, with I suppose in marketing in general, right? The return on investment, right, it's difficult, but with influencer thing, because it's a massive like budget element to like put out there,
definitely,
to know are you going to get return, so it has to be the right people. So I think that's the people influence is absolutely key, and that's the society you're creating.
It's a society we're creating, straight in. So then off the back of that, I was like, there's a gap here. Just again of like people that are authentic, people that are real, people that are like you and I, hustling every single day, but have like a big following and like influence people every single day, whatever it is, whatever they're doing. And then I was like, can't do this alone. Can't.
Too many hours get
on. So I met Stacey, who I know has been on the podcast.
A couple episodes ago, if you want to have a listen.
Yeah, have a listen.
Got a video one, she's got an audio, but please listen.
So met Stacey and we just clicked. And then I was telling her about this like dream I had, like, and I was like, I really want to do this, and she was like, let's do it. And I was like, yeah, gal, let's do it. And then this is where we are. And then we've reached out to a few people, and we've already got some poys signed on, our people of influence. So then we're about to launch with our launch event next week that you're coming to.
I'm coming. I don't know if this will be out before this happens, but I'll be sharing it all over our social and stuff anyway.
But then we've kind of like, we've talked about this a million times. So there's going to be like two strands to it. There's going to be one which is like the people of influence, who are people that are wanting represented, that are speakers that are maybe not getting as much money as they should be getting, or they're promoting products and services and they're not getting paid the way they should. And it's hard to like speak out for yourself. So that's where we come in. So they pass to us and we kind of do that for them. And plus we're going to get them in front of the right people. And then if they need any kind of marketing help and stuff like that, we're there. And then the other side of it is the society side, which is, I've done a lot of networking over the past wee while, and there's some great networking groups in Glasgow, but there's some not so great. But what I've really found is a lot of them aren't diverse. So particularly
in what way?
I guess like lots of ways, but the one that stands out to me is race.
Really?
Yeah. And look, between Stacey and I, we've been working on this for the last year, right? So we've been going to bottom, middle and top in networking groups, ones that you're paying a lot of money for, just to see what it's like. And look, nobody's doing it wrong, but it's just like we feel it could be better. And there's loads of people along the way that you probably meet them as well, like they're lone soldiers, they're like properly hustling, they're doing amazing in whatever they're doing, but they feel alone. And it's like, well, there's so many of these people that are doing this, why are we not bringing them together? And then I met Bailey, who is the most incredible woman who is all about Black women's rights and women of colour, and she's just phenomenal. And through a chat with her a couple of months ago, I was like, she's like, there's no like Black women's networking group, like people feels really isolated when they go to this, and I was like, no, this is wrong. So it's like, whoever you are and whatever you're doing, you're welcome at our society. And I do feel like a lot of these clubs, if you like, because I don't like the word networking, right? A lot of these clubs, they're cliquey.
Yeah.
You go and you feel anxious and you're nervous about going and all of that. So I don't want any of that.
I know. And I suppose I've been a couple as well. And like the one recently wasn't really like that. And
That's
it was refreshing.
That's
because the ones that I had been to, like you feel, everybody's in their wee group. Everybody knows everybody. And you're like, And it was nice to see that everybody was like, you felt nervous going in, obviously.
Yeah,
right?
you do.
It's weird to go into a group of people you don't know.
You feel like you're back at school though. It's horrible. You're so nervous. Like, so nervous.
And then I went up and did this talk, and I'm like, whoa. Then everybody was like, and I'm like that.
Go gal. But
it was so nice. I was like, cool, nobody's just looking at me like, oh, what's she doing? Do you know what I mean? Like, and then they're all everybody was talking to each other, moving around, like off their own back, not like structured where you need to move seat, like fucking, dating.
So that one that you were at, like, I've heard great things about them, and that's brilliant. But when then you popped up and you were going, I was like, that's great. I've heard that one's really good, and that's one I've not been to. So there are ones that are doing it right. But then there's room for us to do it right 100%. Too. And I think with Stacey having done Boss Gals, like she brings so much experience on that side of it to the table. And it's just about having a society of like, we all help each other, we're all each other's backbone. We're going to meet once a month, and then there'll be a really nice, I'm not going to give too much away, right? Once a quarter. And that's the fun aspect, because we all work hard. We've got to have some fun.
Because you are lone when you're self-employed.
Definitely.
If you've not got a team of people, it's
the loneliest place to be at times. Like when something goes wrong, or you're like back to that imposter syndrome. Like you're like, is it right? Is it wrong? What do we do? Like, oh,
I know.
And then it's hard going.
Then with the Wave Collective that we're talking about, my mum came with me, and we both said the same thing. Great time. Brown, we said to girls, great time, loved it, but we can't come to this. This is miles away.
Where is it?
Carluke.
Oh, right, okay. 45
minutes, right? Yeah. And I was like, love it, would promote it through and through for anybody that way. Yeah. But my mum was like, there's nothing like that in Glasgow.
Hi. So there you go. So like, and there's plenty of room for everybody, but there's not one like that in Glasgow. No. But there's so many gals like you and I that are hustling every single day and just need to be a bit of advice and stuff. So yeah, it's exciting. So
We're
two different strands to society. It's like girl gang society, but open to everybody. Like it's not cliquey, and
And for the first side that you mentioned, so do you approach people to be part of that, or do they come to you, or how does it all work?
So at the moment we've just put feelers out, but obviously from the launch we've got like a hit list of people, and like I think through like doing what I do and the events and brands and stuff that I work with, we get people of influence. I'm doing that already into clients, so it's just maybe a natural progression for them to maybe, I don't know, come in our books if you like, so there's been lots of chats, but we've got 2 at the moment, and that's what we always wanted to launch with.
So next question is, how the hell are you doing this, plus all your other jobs and having children and sleeping?
So sleeping is not really happening. So I've just taken on a lovely gal called Emily. Yeah.
What's her name?
Emily.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, cute.
She is my angel. So yeah, so I've just taken her on. So she's been working with me for the last 2 months.
What?
I know.
What a honey.
Because
she want to help me too.
No, you're not having her. Sorry, Emily. No, she's great. So she works with, I got recommended her because I was on the phone to my friend who's got Kiwi & Co. Right? And I was like, gal, drowning. And she was like, oh, I've just taken someone on, like she's amazing, but she's come as like an internship. And I was like, yep, pass her over. And I met Emily and I was like, you just click.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just loved her. I was like, you're such my vibe. We had a few things in common that happened to us the past few months and stuff. And we got down to the nitty gritty really quickly. And I was like, this is what I'm looking for, and this is the help that I'm looking for. And she's so eager to learn, but she brings a lot to the table as well. Like, she's all over TikTok and all the like trends and all of that, because like they change, never mind weekly, like daily. So she's so good with that, and she's got such an eye. Like, so I've been taking her on content shoots and stuff, and then she's been doing some of it, and clients love her. She's just settled in so well. Yeah, that was one of the things I was going to ask you, actually, like, because you started out on your own, and I didn't know you'd take something on, but like, I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were like, oh, would you take on staff? And I was like, I feel like it would be really difficult to do that, because one, I'm a control freak, but two, like, getting inside your head. So like 100%. And I think that's it's tough, right? Because it's like your baby, and like, you know the way you want things and stuff. But I was like, I can't keep going and go to where I want to go without taking someone on. So it's like, you feel like you're opening up your whole life and like all your clients to them. But I'm so glad I've done it. We're 2 months down the line. There's certain clients that I was like, let's just work on these certain clients just now, and then we can open up. So I've still got clients that I just kind of, I mean, she knows a lot about them, but I'll still just take to do with them, and I'm still involved with all the clients. I still go on all the shoots and everything. But she's totally just grasping it. And I think it's that whole thing of like, you've got to invest to get back. And she's so open and eager to learn, and that's like a blessing. That's what you need. She's just a nice gal.
Oh, I need to get some.
She's a nice gal.
I need to get some day. It's really difficult.
Don't be poaching my Emily.
I'm taking her.
No. Me and you're going to fall out.
I know, like, end this. So, and with your business that you do, you're also all these events. Like, what are all these events that you're at all the time?
I have no idea what is going on. Yeah. So I guess as part of it, we can do like launch events, and you know, we did a black tie event for one of my lovely customers. It was like a charity event 2 weeks ago.
What was that?
So this was Lucy, who's just a new client that's come on, and she'd be a good one for your podcast, actually. Very interesting gal.
What does she do?
So she's actually a PA to like footballers and things. I know. Interesting life. But I feel, so she's got a lovely story, right? But a really hard story. So basically, she sponsors 100 children in Peru to get back into sport. So she's,
What do you mean sponsors?
So she gives money to them
to get them
into sport. So they're from like deprived backgrounds and stuff, because she's not got kids of her own. It's not worked out for her, and she just wants to give back.
That's so emotional.
So she was like, look, I'm living in Glasgow. I'm in a great position. I want to put on this event. And she reached out to me on the Thursday before the event, and the event was on the Tuesday. And she was like, Jacqui, like, can you help me? And I was like, yeah, sure, when's the event? And she's like, Tuesday. And I'm like, Tuesday? She's like, yeah. And I was like, okay, what do we need? But to be fair, she'd done a lot of the groundwork, building blocks, and then we just got some like people of influence there that were like, and then suddenly you got that boom over social media. So it was like, that was a black tie. So it was for that charity to give back to underprivileged children in Peru.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And it was a great wee night. Gordon Smith was like comparing, and like just some really good people there. We had like Miss Great Britain, we had Miss Universe, like just some like,
you know, everyone. It's
fun people. So it was like a really nice atmosphere.
I feel like everyone needs to be part of this influence society, because they're going to meet all sorts of people.
It is. And at each event, we're going to have someone of interest to like speak as well, like who's got an interesting story.
And then you had another event like 2 days later.
What was that? Remember?
I've got so many.
Then this week's busy as well. So we've got one of my OG clients. He's launching his property website on Thursday.
Yeah.
So we're having like the property event on Thursday, and then I've got one again on Saturday, and then the POI launch next Thursday. Yeah, so it's a bit mad just now.
It's a bit mad all at the one time.
All at the one time. It's fun.
But like, would you have it any other way?
No, I wouldn't. Maybe breathe a wee bit now and again. Be able to stop for 10 minutes, but I wouldn't. I love it. And like, it's like, it's your own. I've created it.
I know.
So like, I can't say anything.
That's what I feel like too. Like, people say to me like, how have you got time? You do 5 million things. I'm like, yeah, but I've not got any children, so you have children as well. Like, you're off your head.
I know, but they always come first.
They do.
They always come first. They always come first.
But not like, you're doing a lot, and you've got a lot with your business that you can offer to different people. And in terms of like the clients that you have, we sort of touched on it before we started, like how the aesthetics industry is just wild. But do you have specific sort of industries that you don't take on, or you do take on, or you just kind of like anything?
I wouldn't say don't take on, but just what we were talking about before, like it's not fair for me to take on a client that I don't have interest in, or like I wouldn't do them justice if I don't use the product, use the service, believe in it, like enjoy it. So like, I don't know, like transport or something, like do you get what I mean? Like I just couldn't get right into that, so I wouldn't take somebody in that sector on. But I've kind of found myself in property and beauty, and I love it. I love it. Like property, use beauty a lot. But I wouldn't ever say no to a client. But if someone approached me and it was like not my vibe, like it's not for me.
Has it happened before?
Yeah.
Has it?
Yeah, and I've met someone before and like it just wasn't right. Like he wasn't. I didn't get that vibe. And then I was like, yeah, send over the proposal, and I didn't send it, which is not like me. But I was like, you just have a gut feeling.
You just know.
I just was like, you're going to be an absolute nightmare for me. Essentially, that's what I genuinely thought, and I was like, I'm not going to enjoy it. So why?
I know.
Why?
And I think like people probably look at what we do and like things like that and think, oh, it must be just like easy life, like must be just like great. You just like post on Facebook, whatever.
Have coffees all the time.
Live your best life. I mean, you're at 500 events, you're having a great time, but it's a lot. But like, you don't really think about the people involved, and sometimes that can be difficult, like managing clients or expectations or difficult clients. Like we've all had difficult clients.
Everybody has, and like I think like the difficult clients are harder when you're on your own though, because like when you work for a company or something like that, you've always got like a backfall. But then I was actually talking to Stacey about this yesterday and today, and I was just like, you have a gut feeling when something's not right, and I feel you get that in business as well. So if you meet a client and you just know it's not going to work, I'm teaching myself to try and listen to that. And that's what she was saying, like she needs to do that as well.
Because as well, like when it took me a while to start saying no as well. So like if somebody like I've had somebody recently approach me to do something, I was like, no. But before I'd be like, okay, like what can I do? How can I help? What can I do? Now I'm like, it's not worth my time, not worth my effort. Like I'm not doing
that. I feel like when you launch in business, like it doesn't matter what anyone says, unless you've got loads of capital behind you, you're chasing money slightly. Like you have got bills to pay, you're out on your own, you're out on your arse, like you're like, so you probably would maybe take things on that you wouldn't necessarily take on now. But I think like that's just like the waves you've got to ride in business. Like now maybe you get to a stage that you're like, touch wood, so thankful that you can be a wee bit pickier, but that's what it should be. Like you can't market something you don't believe in or enjoy. You just can't.
No, you can't. No, and then that's why I fully moved into services, because I was like, product's just not my bag, and I'm not even going to pretend it is.
We've spoke about that a lot.
It's funny.
But like trying to shoot product is completely different to a service.
It's completely different. That's when you need the influencer strategy. That's when you need a lot of other moving parts. But MD's get a product business. You can't just be taking a picture of your cup and going.
And again, some do it great. Some do it great, but don't get the feel for it. So
there's so many other moving parts.
So that's why they need to come to Poi.
That's why they need to come to Poi, and they need some influencers in their life.
100%.
Not just like wee lassies.
People of influence.
People of influence. And do you know what was funny? Because I haven't ever spoken about this before, but categorically not an influencer one bit. But like with not a joke, like not. But with my when I didn't know what I wanted it to be, and then I was always like, right, I'm going to be here for the little guys. I'm not going to be punting tips. Putting Instagram tips, like, don't care. Like, I'm not doing that. I was like, I'm going to just essentially promote who I'm working with or things that I've used. I'm not an influencer, right? But I was like, I'm just going to start doing this.
You are a person of influence, though.
Sort of.
You are.
And so many people have like seen what I've done, or then been like, I'm going to reach out. Like I had a girl, so I went to had her on actually, Ashley Yoga Belly. She does the pregnancy yoga, but she also does ordinary yoga as well. And then one of the lassies I spray tanned was pregnant and was like, oh, I'm going to go to that. But it's because I had promoted it, because you wouldn't have known about it otherwise. Yeah. So essentially you are a person of influence.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're promoting your clients. And I feel like you're kind of networking. Because like I'll go to a client and you'll always talk about other clients and stuff as well. So you are influencing all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. We are.
I want to sign up people of influence here.
Exactly. Well, that's where you're coming on Thursday.
Right, but I'm not doing any talking. Don't ask me to. I want to die.
What? There's a 10-minute slot for you Thursday.
No.
That's the next one.
No.
You will speak at it.
No. That was terrifying. Like,
you've done it once. You've done. First saw was the worst, right?
Do you know my mum? I'm howling. So my mum was there. I said that earlier. Like, so she's a woman in business on her own as well. So networking and stuff. And she said after, she was like, I was crying. I was like, what were you crying for?
Thanks, Ma.
She was like, because you were just this wee shy girl. Now you're up there standing up.
love that.
And I was like, yeah, pure shaking and quaking in my boots.
I tell you, your biggest cheerleader will always be your mum. Like 100%. Like, I just think that's lovely.
I know.
So lovely.
I know.
And you got to experience that together, which is dead nice.
Yeah, she's mental. So she could come to Poi.
Yeah, invite her.
She needs to network and stuff too.
Do it. Bring her.
I'll bring her.
Yeah.
And how did you actually like start to build your network? Because I feel like you know everyone. Like
a few people say this.
Everyone. Like, how did you go about that?
I have no idea is my honest answer. But I think like you just meet people in market. I think probably like the Herald, you met a lot of people. It's just contacts, like events, or I honest to goodness don't know. But yeah, I do know a lot of people. I don't know. I think it's just being in Glasgow. Like, Glasgow's small. People think it's massive, but it's really not. Like, and I think like in marketing and maybe like agency life and stuff like that, you got to go to a lot of events, you got to meet people, and it just sticks. And then now with like social media, you add people and then you're like, you feel like they're friends. Yeah. Because you get to see their life. Yeah, you know? And I feel like that, and people don't hand out business, well, they do, but people don't really hand out business cards anymore. It's like, oh, you got your LinkedIn or your Instagram and stuff. So it's like suddenly you're like in that person's life. Yeah. So, but it's good. And I feel that's like good for Poi as well. Yeah. But it's, I feel very lucky. I feel dead lucky that, you know, when you do think about like people, you know, and I noticed it at that black tie event when we had like 6 days to get people there, and it was just like voice notes, phone calls, and I was like, who the fuck do I think I am? Like, kind of thing. But like, hey, baby 1, baby 2, like, do you know what I mean? But it's just what you do. Just roll with it. But I feel lucky, and I know and I've met so many amazing people like from working in marketing. Like, it's probably the one industry that you can get to meet like from all different sectors, all different backgrounds, like celebs, non-celebs, like whatever, like people hustling all the time. And that's the bottom line. Whatever you are at, that's one thing I've noticed is everyone's hustling. Everyone. Like, it doesn't matter what you see in social media, like you think they're so successful, but to get there, they're hustling behind the scenes. Like, what the hell's going on? I know. James said this thing the other day and I was like, this is so true. It's like you're a duck on water and you're just floating along and everybody's looking at you on Instagram going, oh, look at Jacqui, she's smashing it. Oh, look at Gemma, she's smashing it. Then underneath you're like, you're paddling like mad. Exactly. I'm like, I keep saying I'm going to do like come in a, oh my God, Jacqui, day in a life with Jacqui, but like on a Wednesday when I've got the kids. And amongst like everything else, like if someone could see me, please don't ever watch me coming out of my house at 8 o'clock in the morning when I'm trying to do the nursery drop. I'm like, what I go look into nursery like and what I go back for the pickup, it's two different people. That was literally me this morning taking the dog to daycare. I like rocked up in a trackie that was like for the wash, like hair in a junkie bun, love it, no makeup on, like a sin, picked him up like this and the woman's like, it's normally the opposite way about, like people go into their work looking glam and come out and I'm like, I know, it's backwards. Just, I swore I'd never be that person, but here I am. Can I do it all? Jeez, oh. Here I am. Got any ways? I can't even imagine. I'm like the new. Come and spend a life. You could content shoot it for me. I'll content shoot your Wednesdays. Come to the park, feed the ducks. Oh God, stressed. You're doing it for them. Doing it for them, 100%. You're never going to get that time back.
No, you're not. And I think like that's why a lot of people now are self-employed, because they can juggle and manage better. And if you were still at that agency, like getting calls all sorts of times, that's impossible.
And I think like I actually got interviewed a couple of months ago by a girl that was doing her dissertation, and it was about women at a certain level, what that mean, like, but that are like in business, at like heads of positions, and how they found it going back into that work after having kids. And I was like, hands up over here, I couldn't make it work. And I was like career driven. I had got to like head of marketing position, loved it. Like work was my life. Like I was that person like at certain jobs that was in early, there late, doing it at home, just off your own back. It wasn't your own. It was just like what you done. And I suddenly was like, couldn't do that anymore, because like the kids came first. But what I did realise is that some industries just, you cannot make it work. And that's so sad. You just can't. And that's what that girl that was doing that dissertations found out. She said that the financial sector and business stroke marketing is two of the hardest, like she's found through our dissertation, is they're the hardest ones when you have children to try and juggle.
Because they're not flexible or any other reason.
Yeah, and the stress that goes with it. I say all the time, marketing never stops.
No.
It never stops. But then if you've not set that expectation, then it can't, so you're not in control of it. So that's what I was saying, like I couldn't make it work. And then the people that were taking the effect of it was the kids. So it had to change. But I think that's so sad. Like you spend, like I'd spent like 14 years working in my career up to where I wanted to be, because you're like, get up the ladder, next one, got to where I wanted to be, became pregnant, and then was like, I can't make it work. And I actually said to Michael, and I was like, this is like like nothing compared to anyone that works in a shop or anything, but I was like, I need to go and just completely work like part-time in a shop or something till they're 5 going to school, because I literally can't make this work where I am. And that was it. It was like either I go out on my own, or I completely step back and go and get something that's got like, I mean, I know like probably working in Marks and Spencer's and stuff has stress to some degree, but I don't think
it's not the same.
It's not the same.
No.
And I think you could walk away from that job and not think about it till the next day. So it's so sad that is like that for women, and it's still there and it's still in existence. And it's like there's some industries that are really flexible in women, and there's ones that aren't. And it's still so wrong.
It is. I was talking to my pal actually not that long ago. So she's got 2 kids. One's 5, one's just about to turn 2. And it was actually last Christmas, and he was only 1 well, still 1 now, but anyway. And she was saying she's going back to work, but she's like, I feel just so far behind, because she was so career driven too, and like her babies are everything, like no regrets like at all. But she's like, but I would have been so further ahead than I am now, and I'm just pulled back every time, and it's so frustrating. And it's like the guys just keep on going. They keep going to work, going up the ladder, doing their thing, and then you've worked so hard. She did her masters, moved away to do it, like did so well, like doing what she was doing, and now she's like, I'm so far behind where I should be, and it's frustrating, you know, and it's a shame.
I mean, like when I had the twins, I then went back to work and I started a new job, because that one was like very American based and the hours just weren't going to suit, right? And the agency that I went to, I think they thought I was at it, because like we just started the twins at nursery, because you had to, and amongst help with grandparents, and it was like they were sick all the time. So there was like every week I was having to be like, I'm so sorry, I'm going to have to go and collect from nursery. And you don't, like, that's hard for an employer who was a man, no children. He must have been like, what are you doing, Jacqui? Like, you're at it. So you're trying to like prove yourself in a new job, but then you've got the nursery phoning you and being like, you have to come and collect Cameron, he's ill. And I mean, you're always going to go and collect your baby, right? Yeah. But I think like I feel totally at my depth. I felt like I'd gone back to marketing, like, and I didn't know anything. You're so vulnerable. You don't even feel like your own body. You're mum brain is such a thing, like there's such a thing, and you go back thinking, I do know this, but you can't find it. You cannot find it in your head. So I would find myself in meetings being like, oh my God, I was just like in an outer body experience, being like, I could have done this meeting with my eyes shut before, and I'm like, I don't even know who that girl is there sitting around that table that's trying to conduct that meeting. Like it's the craziest thing. So I think it's so hard to go back to work after children anyway, But like in industries like marketing that don't really, well, there will be companies that support it, but is so fast paced, so like deadline driven, and so demanding. Like it's so difficult.
It doesn't stop.
It doesn't ever stop. And taking that year out to have your children, you're so far behind with trends on social. Everything changes so quickly in marketing. There's no other industry like that.
There's not.
So
I talk about this all the time. Like that would be, how many years ago was that at uni now?
Don't scare yourself, Gemma.
A lot, like 14. Yeah, 14 years ago.
Oh, God.
What was it? Must have been. But my degree was void a year after completing it or something like that, because how quickly it changed. So would yours be? Like
100%.
Void.
Everything
Like,
I learned at uni, I don't use.
No, nothing.
I don't use.
It's because it's that fast paced. Whereas if you went and did like, I mean, obviously laws change stuff. If you're a lawyer, you learn the basics and it doesn't really change that much.
Yeah, totally.
You know? But like marketing, it's like whoosh, 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 all the time.
Constant. And I see this all the time. Like at the time, like when I was at school, they were probably thinking they were doing you good, but they were pushing you into uni. But then there was people that came in my third year that had went through the college route, and they'd been to like agencies in New York and done like a week stint in an advertising agency, and I'm like, I've been at uni learning like business cases and stuff. I'm like, how have you been to New York for a week?
What else is
yeah. So I'm like, I don't know, like it's but yeah, not one thing I learned at uni am I using,
because it's changed so much.
Yeah.
I was talking to one of my pals the other day, and he was saying he does insurance, right? Just like my pal's partner, right? He does insurance, great, thrilling. And he had to do like tests as part of his like leadership or whatever it was, right?
Yeah.
And one of the modules was marketing, right? And I was like, why did you have to do a marketing module in an insurance exam? And he was like, I literally didn't have a clue. Like I did not have a clue what it even asked me. And he was showing me, and I was like, it was all about like positioning and this, that, and the next thing. And I'm like, that's really difficult for somebody that does not know what that is or anything to do with marketing.
So did you not learn it? Like they didn't teach him it, they just examined
No, because it was like a learn like at home type thing. So he was like studying for this exam, and he was like looking at stuff, but he didn't really like go into much detail, whatever. And then he was like, fuck.
I don't think I'd answer that.
Because you'd think you would, because he's worked in it for years and years, like the jobs.
Yeah.
It was just basically like, I don't know, fixing going up in his skills or whatever he was doing. And like I had to do that, and I'm reading it going, that's solid, by the way. Yeah. I'd probably fail.
That's what I was just saying there. I was like, I don't know if I would pass. I probably couldn't pass my uni exams now if I was to reset them.
Right at their station, I'd rather slit my throat. Like, no thanks.
Do you know that I didn't even really, like, this is how old I am. Like, we didn't even learn about social media in my marketing. Like,
to be honest, neither did we really.
Nah, we slightly touched on it, but that was it. Like, Bebo was just out. Bebo. That's when I was at uni.
You quit uni in 1920?
Calm down, Gemma. I did 2005 to 2009. So Bebo had just launched, and like when I was in third year, you know, like those like 3 hearts you could send to people and stuff. Yeah, and like MSN was a big thing.
Oh my god, Bebo and MSN.
Bebo.
Holy shit.
I actually tried to get back into my Bebo a few months ago. Because I was like, where are those pictures? Like, do you know what I mean? I couldn't get, yeah, they're gone.
Or MySpace, remember MySpace?
I didn't have a MySpace.
Did you not?
No, I was an MSN gal and Bebo. And then Facebook, I just got a Facebook when I finished uni. That was like 2005.
So,
sorry, 2009.
Because I left uni in 2014. Actually, that was not right. Correct maths earlier on, but it was like the final year. We were just learning SEO and PPC.
See,
what the fuck?
Exactly.
And it was that module you got to choose, and I was like, I don't know what these letters mean, so I'm not choosing these modules. Didn't learn it. Didn't learn it at uni. I picked something else. I don't know what I picked.
It's wild, isn't it? But then even if you did learn it, like if you went to uni last year, it's changed. So
everything moves
so quickly.
And even like with social, like how do you, like we're pure running over time, but it's fine. Sorry. How did you like what's your kind of thoughts on like social media at the moment in terms of like the platforms, which I think is working, which I think is not working, like
what's working and what's not? It's so hard. So I talk about it as a pyramid when I speak to my customers, right? And I feel that TikTok's at the top at the moment, but it's brand exposure, right? It's so hard to get sales and things like that from TikTok unless you're using the lives in the TikTok shop. But I feel like everyone's got to be on there, and everyone's still so scared of TikTok. And I'm like, if you're doing reels for Instagram, get those reels on TikTok. It goes without saying, because what's going to happen is if they don't do it, 2 years time they're going to be way behind. Then Instagram's still there. People are, you know, everyone's going to Instagram, but I do feel like people are searching like a Google search on TikTok rather than Instagram now, like food, holidays, places to stay. But Instagram's always going to be there. Facebook's
dead,
falling on its face. Where some clients are getting some sales and leads and things like that is the community groups. So they're doing a post and sharing to the community groups, and that way they're kind of getting good exposure and getting leads back or good engagement or whatever. But other than that, it's like Facebook's dying a death.
It's for the bin. That is, I absolutely agree. It's the groups that, but the thing with the groups is all the rules in the groups. Oh my God! Whoever the admins are, get a life. Like,
you can't keep up. I mean, like, you know, I was speaking to a client in Paisley recently. And it was like, I think it's like Paisley Crowdy, and they've got like so many rules. And she was like, I got barred, and I was like, what do you mean got barred? What did you say? And she's like, I've posted too many times about my business, and I was like, oh, for goodness sake.
Like the person, the admin, I think she's a weirdo. Like, it's pure weird. Like, why are you doing
that? Like, talk about like supporting the wee guys. Like, support the wee guys.
I know.
You know,
give them opportunity.
Definitely.
But no, Facebook is.
It's sad, but then if we talk about like 2009 I did a Facebook, like, it's going to change.
I know.
And that's why I'm like, you can't miss TikTok. Then I feel you've always got LinkedIn over there as like wee lone soldier.
I know.
But that's hi LinkedIn, hi girl. But it's changing as well. So like, it used to be, it was all like business and like, this is my business face, my business life and blah blah blah. And the stuff that's working better is their personal life. Yeah. So it's changing again, but that's one that people are like, oh, I don't use LinkedIn, or I've got a profile and I don't know what to do. And I'm like, use it.
Just use it. It's not difficult. Go for it.
Yeah, 100%.
Go for it.
100%.
But defo TikTok. I've got one client just now, and I'm like, get yourself on TikTok. Oh no. Oh no, it's scary over there.
The people that think it's for the kids, and I'm like, no, it's not.
But you can get engagement so quickly on TikTok. It's wild.
Although I was getting trolled on TikTok.
Were you?
Yeah. It was horrible.
Oh my God, what were they saying?
About my eyes.
What?
Yeah. So like, I've got like a slight squint, right? So been corrected twice and it's still there, right? God love Cameron, I've passed it on to him, right? We Cameron with his glasses, but he really suits his glasses. He does. So anyway, and I'd got a really nice thing. It was Sean McDonald who had sent me, it was like my first Mother's Day without my mum, and he was like, give me your bank details, and I was like, is this a scam? And he's like, no, give me your bank details, explain later. So I was like, my God. So I gave my bank details, and he put money for coffee and a cake, because that is my total vibe, right? I mean, I would love a bottle of Prosecco, but just can't happen these days, right? So coffee and a cake's my vibe. And he put money in my bank, and he's like, look, it's not much, like, but I don't know what else to do. Just go and take yourself for a coffee and a cake, right? And this totally melted my heart. So I was like, I'm going to put it on TikTok. And obviously I'd just been greeting, as you do, so to fix my makeup a wee bit, but obviously my eye was a wee bit still teary and slightly squint, and someone trolled me for it, and then he was just coming at me, and then he started commenting on all my stuff, and I was like, why are you doing that? Why?
Blocked.
Yeah, it was blocked. But I was like, God, I'm putting myself out here, I'm vulnerable.
People are so horrible.
They're so mean. They're so mean.
Like,
so
what?
Mean.
Imagine you trolled him.
Exactly.
Listen, James would be writing about that. Next time if you get trolled, James would jump right on that. He loves trolling folk.
Love it. I'll get like, James on the case. But it's like, and then I guess that's maybe the side of TikTok that people hear about that are scared. And it's like, oh, you've just got to block and delete and move on. I know. Do you know? Because I feel TikTok's going to grow really quick.
It's already huge, and it's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah. But do you find that you're going to people like, no, I don't want to do TikTok, I'm scared, I don't want to get on there?
They're too scared, and I don't know what they're scared of. But also TikTok's not as polished is another good thing for small businesses.
Definitely.
What I find small business owners is like, oh, I want it to be pure aesthetic, like, and so I'm like, cool, I'll give you that. But then like, I'm like, but you can do this on your own, 100%, especially over on TikTok. Just fling something up, like
jump on. Like I said, people jump on. Just don't even need a tripod, like just hold it and just say what you've done today, or like the one I couldn't say earlier, but like come with me for a day in the life
Yeah,
of type thing.
yeah.
People are nosy.
They're
They want
so
to see what's
nosy.
going on.
They want to see everything.
Yeah.
I know. Well, guys, on TikTok if you're not. Top tip of the evening.
Top tip.
Okay, so last bit of the podcast, we're here. So I'd like you to hype up a small business charity or something someone deserves a spotlight and tell me why.
Okay, I mentioned her before, so I am going to say Kiwi & Co.
Nice.
And Melissa Lanigan. Should
Cool.
definitely get her on. She's a good gal. Great story. So she has built a business, a very successful business from nothing. So I worked with her and Peter Vardy. She got made redundant. She just went out on her own. And
she's smashing it, by the way.
well, right now she's on her way down to the NTAs because they're a sponsor for the National Television Awards. I know.
How the hell?
Incredible. And she only launched that business in 2019.
Wow.
Yeah. And she works with massive influencers.
Yeah.
She's got a warehouse in Govan, and she is like the definition of boss babe.
Nice. I
am shouting out Melissa Lanigan and Kiwi & Co.
Oh my God, I love it. I'll need to meet her, definitely.
You do.
She will be a first in
Hook you up.
influence.
Definitely.
Hook me up. She come on the pod.
Yeah, get her on the pod. She's got a good story.
Yeah, I really love about it. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
A privilege to speak to you. So for the last 3 seconds, if you want to follow that camera there, Curtis, yeah. If you just want to pitch what you're doing, your services, anything that you want to tell the world.
God, I wasn't prepared for this
Just
bit, Gemma.
Sorry. Make the most.
So I'm Jacqui from JB Marketing Consultancy. If you need help with anything branding, marketing, social media, influencer outreach, come to me. We'll grab a coffee and we'll have a good chat. And if you're wanting to be a person of influence, come and ask me about Boy Society because we're going to shake up Glasgow.
Yes!
I know it.
Shake up Glasgow.
Shake up
Here
Glasgow.
Thank you so much for watching. Please share the hype, subscribe, like, blah blah blah, all that, and tell everybody, tell the world, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.